Yeah, no, I know there is an interest with regard to the issue of the SENTLEC board. Let me categorically state it clear that the SENTLEC board is a subject of the municipality where the council took a decision to finally disband the board. But it must be known that prior to the disbandment of the board, we went to town to try and unify the management as well as the board of SENTLEC. Now, the crisis that ensued, they demanded that I should come up with a number of interventions, ranging from the meetings that I've had with them to a point of seeking induction, wherein the issue of making sure that their working relations come to a point. Then I hired a company to conduct for me a process leading to induction. But I must indicate, there was a crisis inside the board itself where members were not seeing eye to eye. Their public sped in terms of the problems that were ensuing between them and the management and amongst themselves also could not allow me to literally sit down rather than go to the council and indicate that I seem to be facing a problem where the board is just not dealing with policy issues. The crisis where interface work relations was hampered by those that could infringe on others' space. In the main, the management complaining that the board is just not holding its meeting according to the memorandum of incorporation, and that in itself impact on issues of payment that could account to an unauthorized expenditure or fruitless expenditure and other related aspects. So all those things were issues that they were supposed to handle themselves together, and they could not arrive to a point. Now, ultimately, when we realized that we could not bring things to fruition, we had to now call the board, and while sitting with them, after an altercation amongst themselves, others then submitted their resignation. I must indicate, some of the resignation were to say, we are professionals in our own right. We wouldn't want to be declared delinquent either or have the restriction of duty. So we would like to do the board work, but for now, the kind of arrangement that we have does not hold, from the chairperson to the fight between the chairperson and the secretary of the board and the management. So they relinquished themselves. Three of them officially resigned. The chairperson of the board resigned and using a WhatsApp message, and he later erased it. Well, of course, I've heard that Mukwana said we can still retrieve the message. So if anything comes to the fore, I would demonstrate. So if 4 of the 7 resign, obviously the board falls off. So even before I could go to the council as a formality, in itself, the board had taken that route. So I heard the allegation that now I had a problem with the board. But my meetings with them will literally demonstrate how hard I've really tried to bring them to the crawl so that we should all work as one. Now, I operate with the board as an initiator and a shareholder, representing the council with 2 councillors that were never invited, even in many meetings that board members could be called through the chairperson. So that in itself was also undermining the shareholder, who has an interest to oversee the activities of the board and could not be even invited in the meetings of the board. So that is where the situation stands as to the movement forward. We have an interim board in place as directed by the Memorandum of Incorporation and with the endorsement of the council. We also have advertised to make sure that there should be a board in place at all material time. People that were serving in the board will be assessed by the interview panel that will be created, including the new ones that will apply. But this time around, we are not going to just take people who do not understand how board operate, and we are going to make sure that we are not going to have a board before we can induct it to begin to do its work, so that the separation of powers must always be in place. So we're at that point. Now you wanted to also know about one of the Centrelink worker who is on social media demonstrating some unfairness that he has experienced either with the management, some authorities. For starters, when you are a worker, there are procedures, prescribed, and labor relations matters that are defined by Labor Relations Act on how you must attend to a grievance. Now, if you do not attend your grievance through those procedures, but you then go to social media and begin to name and shame the council and the institution that you belong to, the Metro, as well as its baby, Centrelink, you are immediately even causing grievous mistake because you have to follow the procedure. So let's go one point. The said employee never followed those procedures. He had his own problems with the management that we did not know. We only had to read about the problem on the social media. Instead of even coming to the leadership of the Metro, he went to his political party, the ANC, and they referred him back to say, look, go approach things properly. So he's naming and shaming everybody along the way, and only at the point when he had gone to court and now making the matter to be sub judice, he would then want to enter into a discussion with us. And by so doing, if we take a decision with him against court proceedings and he does not cancel his cases first, it actually would be an overreach and interference in the law processes, and that can be used against us in a court of law. So we had and advised him to say, if you would want us to come in, first and foremost, just know that this is a labor matter. So we don't come in unless the court has so ruled that we need to make some form of intervention. So first consider cancelling all the processes that we have ushered in that supersede our intervention on the matter. 1, 2, if you are going to come to us and you would like to say we must intervene, just know that one of the greatest demands we are going to put before you is that we have gone public on a matter that we now want us to resolve. You shall have to go back to the public and apologize for bringing the institutions into disrepute. So we are at that point to say we are still willing to can listen to you, but just know that one critical aspect is that we have brought our name into disrepute on issues that first and foremost we are not informed about, but on procedural discipline you acted out of mandate and out of context. Now, you see, there are people who are called deployed. People that are deployed are those that carry the mandate of the organization at a level of political instruction, and they are elected in most material time. But there are those that are employed. So I am not going to treat an employee like a deployee. When you are an employee, you are governed by Labor Relations Act. Behave likewise. Don't come in and create an atmosphere where we must begin to be treated as if we've got jobs for pals, either or preferred individuals. We employ people on the basis of their ability. So we would want all our workers to know that you either do what you are employed for and you adhere to the discipline of the institution, and if you feel that's not the space for you, you are free to go. But if you are going to trample on labor relations modalities, then the Metro has got no option but to act in keeping those principles. That's how far I can go.
Okay, thank you very much.